Hi, so this is going to be kind of like a mini review of 5 Seconds of Summer's new album, Sounds Good, Feels Good. I don't know why my lighting is kind of weird. I don't know if it is weird, but yeah. Um, I guess I'll be reviewing the deluxe edition along with the Target songs. So yeah, let's just get to it. It's going to be a mini review because obviously I'm not going to review every single song, but I did want to kind of give like my opinion on the album. It definitely is, I would have to say, a much better album, even though I'm not saying that this first one was not good, because it definitely was good. It had a lot of good songs on it, but you can definitely see like their maturity. I guess, I mean, like, they're not very mature people, but like their maturity in songwriting in Sounds Good Feels Good, just how much they've improved, honestly. And I guess they've kind of like realized how much they've improved because they make fun of Don't Stop. But there's definitely like a lot of songwriting growth on Sounds Good Feels Good, and I can tell why, because like with their first album, they were releasing songs that they were writing from when they were 15, 16 and stuff like that, and it was just like all piled up and they just wanted to release it. Not that those songs were not good. I love those songs, but there's definitely a much more, like I said, there's a maturity in Sounds Good Feels Good because they're now like 18, 19, 20, and they've gone through a lot of things. And I think the thing that I really like about Sounds Good Feels Good is that they're not really afraid to speak out about certain things like depression and stuff like that, and like coming from a broken home. Even though I've never experienced, coming from a broken home. Everyone can really relate to. There are other people out there who can, and like for me, I really love Invisible because everyone's gonna has those times where they do feel invisible, and I think that in their position it's really good for them to kind of speak up and kind of say, I don't know, writing these songs in a way makes people feel that they're not alone, and I think that's really good, and that's what I really admire about them in doing those kind of things. And so that's one thing that I really liked about Sounds Good Feels Good, is that they've become mature. Even though they don't act like it, they've become really mature in like the topics that they're writing about. Favorite songs on this album, number one would definitely have to be Waste the Night, because Waste the Night, everything about it is just so good. The lyrics are amazing. I think honorable mention to Ashton and his drumming, because that's my favorite part of the entire song is the drumming. It's so good, honestly. It's so, like, sometimes I just put it on repeat and I love every aspect of that song. Waste the Night is definitely my favorite song. And then after that is Vapor. I know they come right after each other, but that's definitely my second favorite song. And then definitely Jet Black Heart. I actually really like Hey Everybody. It took me some time to kind of like fall in love with it, but I really like how everyone kind of says that they stole it, but they actually sampled it. They're literally on the songwriting credits, Duran Duran. I like the way that they sampled that song, and just obviously not the whole song they sampled, and I like just the way that the song sounds like, and I like the whole premise of the song. Everyone in a hard time is gonna get out of it eventually, and I think that kind of hope, even though it's a fun song, that kind of hope is really good. I don't like the song San Francisco, but I love the interlude after San Francisco. I love the sound of it. I love their use of violins. It's just really good. That's my favorite interlude from this out of the I think there's like 3 interludes, and that one's my favorite. Just the use of the violins was wow. Outer Space is another one. I really liked how they ended it. I don't know why it reminds me of an opera, but it's not opera-y, but it sounds like an ending. And then Carry On actually kind of reminds me of Truce. Like, you know how Truce is the last song on Vessel by 21 Pilots? It reminds me of that. I really like Carry On because it's kind of like the album's over, but keep going because you'll get out of this. I think my favorite line is, I got one foot in the gutter. Oh no, one foot in the golden light and one foot in the gutter. Like, but you're eventually gonna get out of there, so carry on. And I really like that as an ending song. And then for the bonus tracks on Target, they're all really good. The two of the songs, I think my favorite one would have to be The Space Between a Rock and a Hard Place. It just sounds so 90s. Like, I feel like it's a song that you would hear on the radio in the 90s, like a rock band in the 90s, and I just really like it. It's really catchy. And then Story of Another Us. I really like the lyrics for Story of Another Us, especially I got long-term plans and short-term fixes. I don't know, I really like that line. But basically, they really kind of grew up with this album, and it really shows. And I'm really proud of 5 Seconds of Summer for what they really put out an awesome album, and I can see why they were so excited to kind of release it to the fans. And it's honestly an awesome album. And if you haven't listened to it, it's on Spotify, and you can buy it on iTunes, and then you can get the deluxe Target edition at Target, obviously, with the 4 different faces. And then the 2 extra songs, which is The Space Between a Rock and a Hard Place and The Story of Another Us, which you can only get at Target, those 2 songs. So yeah, it's definitely a really good album. Definitely really shows how much they've grown as musicians and as songwriters. And it's really nice to hear and really nice to see. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.